Hey, this is Chris Carter with another real episode of Wrestling Real Talk. My special guest today, and man, this is great, Zach Gowen.
Hey, thank you, Chris Carter. Great to be a special guest. I've been called a lot by a lot of people, but to be called special is the best thing that's happened to me today, so I appreciate that.
Zach, you know, I just wonder, how's everything going these days for you?
Man, listen, blessed is an understatement. I'm on the road full-time doing motivational speaking, working with parents, teachers, and students from across the country. I still have a foot, pardon the pun, in the wrestling business. in the wrestling business, and man, it's great today to be around all these legends that I grew up watching. And former contemporaries. I'm married. I got 4 beautiful children back at home, man. My life is really, really full and busy.
How great is that?
Listen. People always meet me and they ask about my leg, right? And I tell them the story about having cancer and losing it. And they always say the same thing. They always go, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened to you." And my response to that is, please don't be, because if you saw the quality of my life, you would not be sorry. You
That's
know?
great,
and it's a beautiful day.
And we're here at WrestleCon today in the Motor City, of all
baby.
places.
Amen.
You know, I know that you had a great wrestling career. What's one of your highlights? What's one of your favorite spots of your wrestling career? Can I put you on that spot?
Yeah, absolutely. I think cutting a promo on Vince McMahon in the middle of the ring at Madison Square Garden has to be a really special highlight. You know,
Man, did you have a little butterfly going on at that time, or were you just real, man?
Here's what happened was, right before our segment, I'm in the bathroom throwing up because I'm so nervous, and then I walk to Gorilla and I'm standing there with Vince McMahon, and I tell him, I go, listen, I can't do this week. We have to do it next week. And he goes, "We're live, pal. Hit the music." And then the music hits, and I have to go out and do it.
Well, I know what you mean, because I'm with you right now, and I got that little butterfly thing going.
It, brother.
You know, can I ask you about a couple of wrestlers and get your opinion
Sure,
on some things?
of course.
How about Kamala?
I love Kamala. Are you kidding me? He terrorized my childhood, man. He was he was so talented at being so believable. Because there are so many outlandish gimmicks throughout the course of the history of professional wrestling, but only some of them have the talent to pull off the believability factor. And when you saw Kamala, everything about his movements, the way he spoke, his paint, the way he looked around at the crowd, his body language was so believable and scary. I loved Kamala.
You know, for me, as far as Kamala goes, it was kind of sad because he had a real rough go in the wrestling business. He was not treated, I believe, as he should have been for what he was and what he did. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've also heard the same thing, and quite frankly, in this business, it's a very challenging business to be in, and at a certain point, you have to be an advocate for yourself.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that.
And you're going to rub some people the wrong way, and people are going to say, "Hey, well, he's kind of difficult to work with," or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's you giving your body to provide for your family. And so when you have it in that perspective, and then some decisions you have to make.
You said it all right there. And, and we have to take care of ourselves, right? So how about Sherry Martel?
Oh, I love Sherry Martel, man. Listen, I've always had a huge crush on Sherry Martel. I think my favorite iteration of Sherry was when she was with Shawn Michaels when he turned heel and had a singles run in the early 90s. But listen, we got Nails over there. I watched this Nails shoot interview that he just released, because the only thing about Nails that I know is Nails, the WWF character.
Yeah.
But he had an insane run in the AWA. He went to Portland. He was in Montreal. He went down to Watts and all of that.
All over the world.
I had no idea. So I'm watching like Mr. Marvelous, and I had no idea he was Nails. But he had Sherry with him as a manager in Minnesota for AWA. And I was watching clips of it, and Sherry was an absolute knockout. Just beautiful. Not only that, but her ability to cut a promo, her ability to get heat, her ability to compliment whoever she was working was second to none, man. So God bless Sherry.
Even though he was Shawn Michaels, I believe she still took him to another level.
100%.
So I think that was a great thing. How about another guy, one of my heroes of all time, Bulldog Don Kent?
I can't say that I'm familiar. I can't speak on Bulldog Don Ken because I'm not familiar.
Okay, he was a regional wrestler back in the day, and he was very big in Detroit, and he was in the AWA, and he was down in Puerto Rico a lot. He was in Japan very much. Him and Al Costello were part of the Fabulous Kangaroos, which were probably the first wrestling tag team that ever came out in Madison Square Garden to music. The song Waltzing Matilda.
No way.
So I'm going back a little bit.
No, thank you for the history lesson.
I'm going back a little bit.
I need, man, because I know the name Bulldog Don Kent. I can't put the face to it. I don't think I've seen the work. So I appreciate the history lesson and the context. I do know that he was part of the with the Sheik and Pimpiro Firpo and Dick the Bruiser and Cobo Hall and all of this.
Cooking, baby.
Well, we're at Cobo Hall right now, so this is pretty.
Yeah.
This is pretty historic.
A little bit before your time, but not before mine, because Bulldog Don Ken, he was a mentor to me.
That's amazing.
In professional wrestling.
I love that.
So it was great, man.
Yeah.
You know, he was a good guy, and I loved him like a brother.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Zach, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Zach Gowen, one of the greatest professional wrestlers I ever met in my life. Another episode of Wrestling Real Talk. Be good to everybody.
Please.